Hi, welcome to Weekend Box Office Predictions and Movie Review. Today is March 4th, 2016. My name is Craig and I am your host. For episode 23 today, I'm going to review 4 movies and give you predictions on those, and also some predictions on some of the holdovers, and also give you a quick update on the China box office for the month of February. So, first movie is London Has Fallen. And it is the sequel to Olympus Has Fallen, and it stars Gerard Butler, once again as Mike Banning. And what has taken place is many of the world leaders has congregated to London due to the death of the Prime Minister. And lo and behold, he discovers that there's a conspiracy to kill all the world leaders that have shown up. And some of that starts happening, and lots of craziness, chaos, and the President of the United States even ends up becoming unaccounted for. So it's the basic plot to this movie, and obviously the search for the President's on, and also to catch the terrorists at the same time. So this movie will perform pretty well this weekend, should do well enough to finish in the number 2 slot, and it will not top probably what what Olympus Has Fallen did when it debuted around 30 million. This movie's playing in over 3,200 theaters, and it's running roughly an hour and 40 minutes. So my prediction for this coming weekend is 22.2 million. So the next movie I'm going to review is The Other Side of the Door, and this stars Sarah Wayne Callis. This movie kind of intrigued me this week because, number one, I really didn't hear a lot about it. And what caught my attention to it was it said it was a nationwide release, even though the last number I saw was only 500 theaters. So it looks very interesting, just initially seeing it. So real quick, what it's about is her and her family live over in India, and while they're there, they experience an unfortunate accident with their son. Their car goes off the road, and it flips. They land in the water, and he ends up drowning, but the rest of the family does survive. So through all the trauma and so forth and all that, she discovers through her housekeeper a ritual where she can actually talk to him through a secret door that's at a temple. So she actually just goes to this temple, and she can actually hear his voice. But the big rule to when you go to the temple is you're not to open the door. Ends up, the door gets open. So that's what the movie's about, and lots of demons and everything else and all that happen after that. So the movie looks very, like I said, very interesting. It's kind of I haven't really seen much on it, really newsworthy or anything else. So the reviews on it are coming around 3 to 6. So it's kind of probably where it typically would be for this type of movie. It's kind of a horror movie and same time, drama as well. So it's running a little over an hour and an hour and a half. So, my prediction on this movie, I'm going to just put it at 1.7 million. Not sure if I'm going to count it this week, though. I'm going to wait and see if what the other experts give it, and just see if I'm even going to include it in my total or not. So, I just wish there was more word of mouth on it, and that there was even just more reported on it on the movie websites and other places that I do check. So, hey, next movie is Whisko Tango Foxtrot, starring Tina Fey. It's playing in 2,300 theaters this weekend, and it also stars Margot Robbie, Martin Freeman, and Alfred Molina as well. It's based on the memoir of Kim Barker, and I basically call it the modern day MASH movie, where you have comedy that's happening in a tent with MASH, where the comedy's happening on the front line. So that's just a real quick, in the nutshell, synopsis of this movie. So the reviews are all over the place. I have seen everything from a 0 to 100. Most of them are falling in line right around 5 or 6, and that's probably for the funny moments, and I'm guessing everything else is probably just your normal war movie that has kind of been done and so forth, but this is from a reporter's point of view. So this movie's running just under 2 hours. My prediction for this movie for this coming weekend is 9.8 million. Last movie we want to review today is Zootopia, and this movie is about animals living in the city, and they are doing everything that humans do, from living to having jobs and everything else. They even run the licensed branch the sloths do. If you've seen trailers on it, it's pretty funny. Although I will say where I live here, our licensed branches actually have pretty good service. So I did find this hilarious though, because I can reminisce from the old days when it wasn't so much fun going to the licensed branch. So, basically the main character in it is Judy Hopps, and it's her job to solve a crime within 48 hours against the crime boss, Mr. Big. And there's many references to other movies in this, The Godfather and Chinatown, the two come to mind. This movie's playing big. It's in 3,800 theaters this weekend. It's playing at 1 hour and 48 minutes. This movie is going to have a monster weekend. I see it doing big numbers. I'm going to put it at 77.1 million for this coming weekend. So, holdovers. Deadpool will lose its #1 slot this weekend. It should drop to #3. I have a prediction coming in at 17.8 million. Next is Gods of Egypt. This movie will cut in half, if not 60% or more. I'm going to put it at 6 million for this coming weekend. Next is Kung Fu Panda. It's had a great run. I'm still going to put it in at 4.4 million for this coming weekend. Next is the movie Risen. I'm going to put it in at 4.1 million. Next movie is The Revenant. This movie should see an uptick like it did last week. I'm going to put it in at 3.9 million for this coming weekend. Next movie is Eddie the Eagle. This movie should see about a half drop in its business. I'm going to put it at 3.1 million. Next is 999. I really think this movie will struggle to reach 3 million. It barely made 6 million last weekend, but I'm going to put a prediction of 3 million. And last is The Witch. I'm going to put it in at 3 million as well for this coming weekend. Hey, real quick too before I wrap up is give you an update on the China box office. Actually, in the month of February, according to the Associated Press, the China box office surpassed the North America box office for the first time ever, and it had sales of 1.05 billion, and that was 250 million more than what we actually experienced for the month of February. It was their Lunar New Year, so that you have to take that into effect. That is the biggest time of year that they actually see movies. However, in particular, the movie The Mermaid, which was a huge hit over there, it had racked up 460 million just for from February 8th on. In the month of February. So, and overall, it's now sitting over a little over $500 million total for international gross. It has debuted in limited release here in probably a handful of theaters, maybe 50 or so. But it's the first time this happened. So, and they're still predicting that China will be the biggest box office market probably sometime next year. So, just thought I'd throw in that information and just letting you know that, hey, it's great seeing that movies are continuing to expand in markets and that they are growing internationally. So, hey, that's it for today's show. I'll be back on Monday, so please check out and see how the actual numbers are when they do come in. Please like, share, and subscribe if you don't already. Hey, giving you predictions you count on that are better than the weatherman. Take care.